Hi, I'm Kate,
Hi, I'm Jeanna.
and this is the She Has a Point podcast, and it's our very first one. So, you guys are here from the get go, and yeah, we just decided, even though we don't have everything ironed out yet, um, we're gonna get started and kind of work out the things as we go.
Yep. So thank you for joining us. And today we mostly want to talk not to Louie,
Lay down.
although he'll probably be joining us pretty often.
Sorry, he was sleeping for so long, and now he's up.
He wants to play.
Sorry, he's a puppy still.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about why we started the podcast. We're talking about your son's recent injury.
Yep.
And if we have time, we have a couple more topics, but I won't even bring them up unless we have time.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, so why don't we go ahead and answer the question first of why we decided to start this podcast/YouTube channel together.
Well, I don't know. I was kind of thinking about starting a YouTube channel anyways, because just to help women with their curly hair. I get a lot of people that approach me and ask me about my hair. And,
Yes, you do.
And yeah, and it's interesting, and I really enjoy it. So I just thought that I could do some tutorials, try to help people, and anything I can do to help people love their hair. Sorry, I'm gonna let my dog out. Oh my god. So yeah, that was part of it, and then I think we have a lot of social issues also that we want to talk about, and just life in general. And
yeah. For me, I used to have a radio show, and I wanted to bring back a podcast and one that I control rather than working for someone else, at least for now. Yeah. And I wanted to work with you. We hang out anyways. Mm-hmm. And so we would always have these long, crazy conversations. And I'm like, this is perfect. Yes. What are we doing? We should be throwing this on a podcast.
Exactly. This is like interesting. This is stuff that I think people can really relate to. And so yeah, I think eventually we're hoping that we'll get some people interacting with us with comments on social media, and we can kind of go back on the next one and answer questions if we can, and talk about different things that our audience wants to talk about also. We definitely appreciate any feedback, because we're just getting started, and obviously this is going to change and grow and as it goes on. So
yep, I'm ready for it. I am ready. All right, so we've both had actually kind of a busy week. I wanted to talk to you actually about your son and just all the craziness surrounding it, because you came over to my house the other day. We had a great conversation with your husband. So I kind of want to replay that for our audience and let them in on what's been going on with your life. And first of all, let them know about your life. You've got a husband.
Yeah, I have a husband and 2 kids, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And by the way, we live in Colorado.
Yeah, in Denver, suburbs for me.
And I live downtown. Pretty much.
Yeah, and I'm originally from here, so I've lived in different places in Colorado, and I moved to Pennsylvania for 10 years, and then I came back here. I'm so happy to be home. I love living here, and Denver is changing so much. I mean, geez, I remember being here as a kid, and I definitely see the change, and I'm sure you do too.
But. Yes, I've been here 20 years, even though I'm a Texas native. It's like crazy how much it's grown.
Yeah.
So out of control almost.
Do you love living here? Do you see yourself always living here?
Yeah, I love Colorado. I wish I could just transplant my land here so I didn't have to go back to Texas.
Yeah. I feel like I'll always have a place to live here. I definitely see myself being really stable and probably even staying in this house until my kids are out of school. I feel pretty rooted here, and the situation works really well for my family. So, but I mean, after that, I have a lot of things that I kind of wish I wish I had done that I never did do, which is like, I don't know, go live in New York City for a year, or live somewhere abroad for a little while.
Right.
But I don't know. That just depends on,
Well, you could always Airbnb this place out.
Yeah.
This is speaking of, your home. We are in her home.
Yeah.
Welcome to Kate's Kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where we're going to be doing our podcast from.
I like it. I love your spot. It's
Thanks.
just, yeah.
Yeah, I love how bright it is in here. I feel like that.
You did a lot of work.
I did.
The last few months, painting and decorating, and
we've
just really come out nice.
It's been 4 years since we've lived in this house, but I feel like I don't know, my husband has a really demanding job, and he was traveling a lot for a while, and we just kind of kept kicking the can down the road and just kind of dealing with it the way it was. And finally, I'm like, I need to make this my space.
Right.
So
yes, totally.
It just takes time, I think, to get settled, but it's happening.
It is.
It's still in progress, too.
I'm like, I think it feels great.
I kind of want to make just an Instagram account for all my different changes that I make in my house as I go.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That's cool.
Just document it. I don't know. Anyway, so let's get back to what happened last week.
Yeah. So you have 2 kids.
I do. I have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old, and their elementary school was having spirit night, and it's this brand new outlet mall. It's only been open since maybe the fall, and they have this giant playground, and it's pretty intimidating playground, but there's a lot of different elements to it. I mean, it's huge. It sprawls over a pretty good sized area, and there's multiple.
It's intense.
It is. Have you been there?
Yes.
And it really is intense, and you can feel that as soon as you're there. But like, I'm the type of parent that like I kind of like that because, you know, I want my kids to like be like, nope, that's too big for me. I'm not gonna do that, or I'm gonna go up there even though it is scary, and just, you know, take some risks and
gives them a chance to know if they want to like make their own choices.
Yeah, and but there's a difference between something that's a risk that's, you know, they're deciding whether or not they want to do it, and something that could actually really hurt them.
Right. Playgrounds are supposed to be safe.
Well, even like the flagpole or whatever that you can slide down. I mean, that area you could fall off of there, but it's like pretty clear as long as you've got depth perception that if I fall off of here, I'm going to get hurt.
Correct.
So walking near the edge, it's like it's a calculated risk, you know, and you understand the consequences of it. Whereas, like, you know, my kids have played on so many playgrounds, and there's a lot of playgrounds that have nets. Okay, and never have I seen anything like this that they have there. And it's like almost like a tube. It's completely enclosed, so that I guess so kids can't climb out of it.
Makes sense.
It looks like rope, but it's cable, so they're really sturdy. I mean, even an adult in there can't really maneuver, like move it around like you would be able to a rope net, you know?
Okay.
And
so there's not a lot of swaying.
Okay. No. But the holes are pretty good size, and I remember the last time we went there, my son was like telling me, my legs keep slipping through the holes in the net, and his legs were getting all scraped up.
Yes, I remember that from your pictures.
His legs were getting all scraped up. So this time, what he did, there's like these metal, and it's just a 1-inch rectangular bar that goes across, and they're like, some of them are pretty close together where it's steeper, and you could actually do like steps, but where it's more flat, they're spread out pretty far. And
so it's like a jump more if they were going to go
from bar to bar. It's not really a step for a kid.
Got ya.
My kid was jumping on them because you can't really step, and he hated his legs falling through. So he's trying to clear these things, and, you know, slipped, tripped, I don't know.
Right.
And hit his head, fell. And then the problem is it's a net, right? So if you catch yourself and you are able to brace yourself, you can brace your fall, but it's a net. So if you miss, and the holes are pretty big,
your hands just slip right through.
Right through, and then you're hitting this like metal, you know, like
on your skull.
Yeah. And so then, you know, like I'm on the playground, and but, you know, like my kids are running and playing with their friends. There's parents there that I know. We're right there. I mean, I was
doing the parent thing.
I was to my son in a matter of seconds after this happened, because my other son was right there. He saw it, immediately went down the slide. It took about 3-4 5 steps to me,
right,
and was like, Ryan is really hurt. And I was like, oh my God. And then I'm like, he didn't tell me like he's exactly right here because he's in a panic.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, oh my God, this is a
Which
giant
part
playground.
Of the playground?
So I'm like, oh, and I'm like running, and he's right there.
Yeah.
And I can see him, and he's just like, oh my God. I can see that he's got a big cut. I can't even see how bad it is. All I can see is that it's bright red, and he has blood. Its blood is pouring like in spurts and dripping and just coming all down his face. Okay, and he's screaming. And I'm sorry, it was awful, honestly. And when I went back to the playground 2 days later without my kids there, no, there was one little spot of blood, but they scrubbed it because there was blood everywhere.
Oh, God.
And as soon as I stepped back on the playground, it hit me, and I was instantly like in almost panicking.
Sure.
Because it just brought it right back, and I mean, because it was so scary.
I would have freaked out.
I have never seen my child bleeding like that and not knowing how bad it was. And he was all the way up. And it's like a maze of nets.
Now, who got him down? Was he climbing down or did...
He was walking towards us, you know, and but screaming and crying and couldn't even see.
Right.
And Andy just my husband just
goodness.
pulled himself up onto this thing and got up there. And then I'm like right there, but I can't even, I'm like, I don't want to drop
So it
him.
was your husband that got him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this guy was right there, and he was like, here, and just took him and then handed him to me. And then he's just like gushing blood. And, you know, then I could see that I could see, I mean, it was just awful. It was, you never want to see your kids like that, you know? So it was horrifying.
Right.
It was absolutely horrifying. And I know that as scary as it was for me, it was so much scarier for him. I mean, it was scary for my older son. He's 6. Yeah, he'll be 7 in September.
Okay.
And you know, and now I know, when you get injured on your head, it bleeds a lot. It's your body's way of protecting you, and it bleeds a lot, and it looks worse than it is. But you know,
he still got stitches. It was pretty bad.
It was bad.
I mean, it looks worse than it is, and it was pretty freaking bad.
It scared me. You know, it scared me really badly. It scared my older son.
Because they didn't even butterfly it, or do they not butterfly that area?
No, they just stitched it. But
Lillian had a little thing here, and they just butterflied. That's why I'm like, when I saw it, I counted it before you said, and I was like, you know, that's a lot.
Yeah, well, he was really lucky because it was perfect. It was like a perfectly straight cut, so it just sewed right together, you know. And
so he won't really get too bad of a scar.
I mean, he's probably gonna have a scar, you know. So,
but it's probably more emotional. Like, he's gonna be scared to get on the playground.
You know what? He is so tough and brave, and he's just one of those kids that he's just, you know, what he said was, I would be more careful on that part, and because we asked him,
he's even still down to go on that part again.
We asked him, we were like, would you go back to that playground just to see what he would say?
Wow.
And he was like, yeah, I would definitely be more careful on that part.
Oh,
that's what he said. So I mean, he's resilient. So it's not that he, you know, I know. I mean, the whole thing,
soldier.
It was scary. It was really scary. And I kept him home from school the next day, and he was so snuggly, and it just was. But so anyways, then I'm thinking, you know, at first I was just thinking about my kid. Sure. And I didn't even, the whole thing it didn't even cross my mind. I was just like, oh my God, he got hurt, and just take care of my kid and comfort him. And and by the end of it, I was just mentally exhausted.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Just from that. And so then,
I can imagine.
You know, even the next day, you know, and just having him here with me, and just, you know, being able to snuggle with him the whole day, and you know, because he's not really that snuggly anymore. So, you know, it was like,
oh yeah, I mean, they're growing. I have a 5-year-old, and if I can catch her for 30 seconds, I'm lucky.
Yeah. I was eating it up for sure. But yeah, so then the next day I was just thinking about it. I want to go back. I want to go back and look at it. And so while they were both at school, my husband and I went back and looked at it, and I was just like, what the heck?
Which part right away made you think that?
The part he got hurt on.
The bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was when you saw the bar, you were like, you knew.
Yeah, every other part of the playground. I mean, it's not like I'm going around and,
Right.
you know, I mean, I've been on the playground. I knew that situation was like that, but, you know, I just didn't. It looks unsuspecting.
You didn't calculate it.
It looks unsuspecting. You're like, you know, you just don't think all that through. Like, imagine him falling and hitting his face on that. If I would have thought about that, like that.
Knock his teeth out, or break his nose.
I mean, imagine how much. I really feel like he was actually, for hitting in this area right there is probably your best, you know, because anywhere here, you know.
Oh, gosh.
It could have been so much worse. And even though he said he would go back and be more careful, I'm not taking him back there.
You're not.
No, I'm not, because.
Well, I'm not taking my daughter there either because of what happened.
You know, and so then I go there to take pictures, and I'm like, gosh, this should not be this way.
Right.
It's just.
So then you started getting mad.
Yeah, like I'm like, how hard would it be for this piece? Even if you need to have something there, there's some reason why that needs to be there. It could be like, you know, almost like a speed bump that's like rubberized.
Sure.
And then if you fall and you land on it,
you could get a bruise maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not going to cut you. It's like I kept saying to Andy, you know, if it's like that, we're not going to see your skull today. You know, like if it's like this, we're not going to see your skull today. You know, it's just like, come on. It doesn't need to be like that. There's no reason for that. And I had all.
And the netting is too wide.
Yeah, because
for little kids' feet and arms. I mean, it really is, because it on the playground, you pointed out, it said 5 to 13?
5 to 12.
5 to 12?
That's what it said, yeah. And that's the thing, is like
you've got
not only that, like 5, 6, my son's 6, okay? 12-year-olds running through there.
Sure.
I mean, the amount of things that have gone through my head since this happened.
Right.
And imagining
gory
how much worse it could have been.
Sure.
You know, like imagine a 12-year-old falling on my child
on top of that
while that's happening.
Right. I mean, it could have been a fracture.
It could have been. He could have gotten a severe head injury.
Sure.
And yeah, kids get hurt, and yeah, you know, that could happen running through the parking lot, but. At the same time, if you're running through a parking lot and there's parking blocks or something, and you can see it, you see that it's hard, you see that it's a risk. You know, a 6-year-old, those bars, they look unsuspecting.
Well, you didn't even like at first. If an adult's not calculating the fact that, oh, my hands could fall through there and I could hit my face, like why would a 6-year-old?
Right.
It doesn't even make
sense.
sense.
It just, to me, it seems like such a simple fix. So, you know, I posted about it, and I made my post public, and I shared it in some, like, the local moms groups that I'm in.
Which I totally would have did.
And, yeah, I got some serious, well, let me start by saying most of the people that commented were, like, shocked and, like,
supportive.
Yeah, and just like, I'm sorry that happened to your son.
Right.
I hope
acting
he's
like
okay.
normal damn human beings.
Yeah. And, like, a bunch of people shared it. I mean, it got shared more than I shared it.
Right.
And yeah, so most of the feedback was positive, but there were some definite internet trolls that came to try to, I don't know,
get the rocks off.
Yeah, make me feel bad about what happened, or that, like, I'm destroying the fun of the playground.
That you're being a helicopter mom. That you're being, you know, what do you call it? I mean, not that you weren't even talking about lawsuit, but that same mentality. What do they call it? Sue happy or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and that wasn't even your point. It was to warn other parents like myself, who I just said, well, I think I'll be avoiding that playground.
And there's so many playgrounds, you know, I'm not going to go back to that one now that my kid got hurt there.
Had an article, I think it was in Westward, with like the top 10 restaurants with like cool playground areas, and I almost tagged you in it. So I'm going to have to share that with you.
I saw it, and I went to one of those restaurants.
Did you?
Yeah.
I need to do that. It's funny because I saw one of your recent posts, and it was from like another cool, fun place, and that's what made me think of it.
It was that place.
But you went there because you saw it?
That article.
Well, there you go.
The food wasn't
very good. It wasn't.
No.
Aww.
The place was really cool. It had a really cool vibe. It's in a very cool spot. The kids' area is good. My kids are like the upper age.
Well, then that's 9 more places that like maybe we could try together.
My kids were totally at the upper age range for that place too.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was not. The kids really liked their food, and their kids' meals were really, I thought, you know, as far as kids meals go, there was good healthier
Mhm.
options and stuff, but I didn't like my food.
I hate when that happens.
I know. I know.
So, okay, what was probably the worst comment somebody made to you?
The worst comment I got
Okay.
was a woman. I accidentally posted, because I was trying to post it in the Broomfield area moms Facebook group.
Okay.
Because this is like where I live. That's the nearest
Makes
moms
sense.
group. And actually, that was the nicest group. Not a single person, that's the only group, not a single person was rude to me. It warmed my heart because that's my
Your
community
neighborhood.
group.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it's big. There's maybe 20,000 members.
Are you on that neighborhood app?
Neighbor, yeah.
Are you?
Next door or
something like that?
I didn't post it.
You didn't?
No.
Okay. That can get vicious.
I know.
They get crazy over like dumpsters and stuff in my neighborhood. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah. So, and I accidentally posted it in this. It was a buy, sell, and trade. It was like Broomfield.
Okay.
It was like condensed.
So just kind of off topic.
So this woman commented and said, "Boy looks starved," and I was like, "Are you?"
You did tell me about that one.
I'm like, and I honestly, that was the worst.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like a mom, like our age. I'm like, what? Why would you
say that?
And it didn't even, it was like so far out there
It's
that I was just like,
fucking rude.
You're crazy and just trying to start trouble, you know?
Just mean and just negative and just an ugly.
It was like I got to see the worst side of the internet by posting this post about my kid getting hurt.
So, you have to tell the world about your husband's like word for it, and maybe we can talk a little bit about that phenomenon.
His what?
The word for like what you just said, the worst part of the internet, and how people will just attack you, and it's like their own release because of either they're mentally ill or they have anger issues or bad stuff going on in their life. But through social media, we're able to be targeted. You know, we're just trying to pass on information, help other people be safe. We're doing good. We're trying, sharing.
I mean, the way I saw it was like either you take my warning that like, oh my gosh, this is at the playground and I wasn't aware that this could be dangerous, so I'm not going to take my kid there. Or meh, I don't really care. I'm still going to take my kid there. End of story.
Yeah. Advice or risk?
I was not expecting people to jump in and be like, you're a terrible parent. You weren't watching your kid, or you're not a playground expert. And I'm like, I think everybody knows that I'm just a parent. I'm not a playground expert, but thanks for saving the day. Or like, you're going to ruin the fun. And I'm like, as if this like sharp bar that
didn't ruin the fun at all
is what's providing the fun here, and removing it is killing the fun. Like, I want to destroy the whole playground.
Like adding extra netting or a little extra padding is going to change the experience at all whatsoever.
It's so black and white. It's like they're saying that that's what's making the playground fun. Like, and I'm Miss Debbie Downer because but my kid got hurt.
You're killing the cool, lady.
And they're, I'm like, oh, you're not a playground expert. Let the experts handle it. I'm like, what do you think the experts get their information from?
From
people
incidents.
Getting hurt.
Sure. Absolutely. It's part of their total data, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Well, but your husband used a phrase that, I feel like we should put out there because it's good.
I can't even remember.
Social mediaification.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, hell yes. Like, it's exactly not exactly and kind of, that doesn't make sense, but I feel like it hits the nail on the head of how people get treated when we're trying to speak to each other. Like, if this isn't to you, if you don't feel like this is going to serve you or help your life in any way, why do you then feel the need to like shit all over the post, ruin someone's day, make a rude comment, be mean, spread negativity? Why are you so inclined just because you're like maybe slightly offended by the fact that your child's head was split open? I don't understand. Like, where's the offense there?
This is what I kept telling people. I would get to the end, like, where I'm, like, reaching my limit of trying to explain stuff to these people online, where I'm like, okay, well, why don't you call the mall and tell them your strong stance on keeping those bars there?
You want your kid to take the risk on getting their head split open.
No,
Cool.
I mean, I don't even know if they have even a kid or not. They're just like, you're ruining the fun. You know, it's just like, I'm gonna let them all know that I think this is a bad idea for them to have these bars installed.
Sure.
Why are you trying to tell me I should feel any differently? I'm gonna go based off of my experience.
Right.
Here.
Like, you're not gonna motivate me to change my mind.
Yeah, exactly. So if you feel that strongly about it, call mall security and let them know. They're the ones that are gonna decide.
Why are you here?
I know. It was just I was like, wow, this is really, it showed me the like dark depth.
Yeah. The social medification.
Yeah, it was like the disgusting part of it.
Like that word.
Yeah, so okay.
Well, I'm sorry your son got hurt. How's he doing?
He's doing really good.
Yeah.
He got his stitches out.
Oh, he did already?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah, well, because it was
fast.
they said 5 days, so it happened Wednesday, the 24th, and then so he got his stitches out Monday, but they put like some steri strips on it because it's still pretty delicate, and like we don't want it to split back open, you know.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel any better, when I was like 5 or 6, I thought I was throwing a frisbee at my little brother, and we were like playing, but it was a microwave plate. We weren't being supervised very well. And he, and right through it, it hit him in the head, and he had to get 5 stitches, like right in his forehead.
Did it bleed a lot?
Oh, it was, I was a little kid screaming. Everybody's freaking out. Mom's like, it was wild. It was one of my earlier memories, and he's fine as far as the stitches healed good. So Ryan should be.
Yeah,
it's not even a bad scar either.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing now is just right. The biggest thing now is just like going to keep it out of the sun for this summer to try to take care of the scar so that it's at least this.
What does the sun do? It makes it not scar, or it makes the scar worse?
Yeah. And because it's right there, and you're that's like gonna be in the sun a lot.
So he's gonna be having like hats a lot,
or a Band-Aid if he's playing sports. Because like we were
he plays soccer, right?
Yeah. Got you. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted on. I'm talking to the insurance company of the mall, and I left a message for the security director, and she hasn't called me back. So
they seem very concerned about their consumers, don't they?
The thing is, if enough incidents happen, hopefully the insurance company will pressure them.
Yeah, totally. They will. They don't want to keep paying out.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to be talking to them too. So.
Cool. Well, I hope it works out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, our next topic. This is kind of a new thing for us that we're doing together. She Has a Point is going to have a lot of different discussions, not just about our personal lives, but things we want to make a point on. We already were doing it.
Yeah.
And I have a history outside of the show that is woman-centered, and I do consultations on basically, cannabis-related stuff, abortion-related stuff. Those are like my top 2 things. Okay. So I had someone come to me privately about abortion recently, and I have this all the time. I probably get one person a day that has a question, has a needs information about abortion. And so I'm happy to talk to whoever, but I feel very slighted, I guess, or I do now, about some particular incidences where in really bad situations that women know they're in bad situations, and they take my emotional energy. Just, I get invested so badly. Like, I mean, goodly, I guess. It's a good thing, but it's so draining.
Yeah.
And then to turn around and tell me you've set like an appointment and you're dead set on it because it's the right thing to do, and that your living situation is terrible, your man's situation is bad, and you're broke, you can't even afford the abortion, because that's a lot of people who come to me. Do you have resources? Do you have funds? Because I've actually helped raise money for people before. And then to turn around and then, like, I just find out later that they either kept the baby or keeping the baby or something, you know, like they decide to continue the pregnancy and be a mother. And I'm just like so drained of that right now. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And I wonder why. How does that happen? Am I the asshole?
What do you mean?
A lot of people would say it's their choice. Like, just be happy for them and shut the fuck up and that's it. They made their choice. And I'm like, okay, but why did they come to me? Why did they get me emotionally vested? Because I'm sitting
not
there
only that, but
knowing
they're taking resources from somebody else who actually could use it.
And I'm over here going, you know it's not a good decision. And then I read posts later, you know, down the line that are like, one specifically, I'm going to call the girl out. She's going to know I'm talking about her. I'm sorry. Is that God knows I needed it, or God knew I needed another baby. And I get like upset. I am actually upset still. This was already like 24 hours or 48 hours, and I'm still going, what? You know, and I don't know. Am I a jerk?
I don't think so. I mean, I think it's an unfortunate side effect of the work that you do, because you're always going to get people who
don't listen
or just, you know, whatever they're doing, they're looking for an enabler at the time, you know? And so
even though they trick me, they make me think that,
I think maybe they're not even tricking you. They may feel very strongly that way, and then they just decide that they change their mind and they don't care, you know? They're not emotionally invested in their own situation as much as you are.
I get more emotionally invested. So maybe that's the discussion here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think just taking care of yourself, I think, is really important, and having really firm boundaries, because people will take advantage of you, especially when you're sticking your neck out like that.
I offered to watch this person's child. She gave me a date for the abortion, told me she had gotten the funds approved through organizations that help women abort, and that was still short the money to abort. And now it's all baby showers and bragging on fucking Facebook about your relationship when it was trash only 4 months ago.
That was only 4 months ago that all that happened?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I didn't even say that on camera because I don't want to be that mean. I could be. And then it's, you know, if you go back over timeline, this person is very pro-abortion, very, hey, you know, do the right thing. Like, I give great advice to everybody else. And I get that. I'm a type of person that gives excellent advice to other people and then doesn't take it myself at times, but not when it has to do with, like, if I got pregnant right now, as much as I would want another baby, I couldn't do it. It would not be okay to the 2 children I already have. You know?
Yeah.
And I just look at him like, if you can't afford $350 to get the abortion after you've already been credited, donated to, why? What are you thinking? What is going on?
So I think that's the thing, is like, the sooner you can let that go, because you're not going to be able to figure that out.
I know. And I get like,
I know.
We might,
but you know, that obviously she's got some stuff going on that you're not going to.
So it is. Then the conversation is not about this person X or person's X, because this happens to me regularly enough to where it's like become an issue in my life.
Yeah.
It then is like, how do I protect myself from people, which I'm not very good at boundaries.
But while still giving people help too.
So the part is that it's just not about one person. Although this is what triggered the conversation, was one person. Girl, it's not about you. It's mostly about the way I react. And I'm feeling some type of way about it, because I understand women do have a choice. And I'm obviously not trying to force anybody into abortion. But I get really invested and then upset when I know that these people know. They told me. I wasn't like, I didn't come into their lives.
Right.
They came to me.
Right.
And that's how I feel. It's not like, you can't tell me to butt out, because I'm like, but you can't, but You bothered me.
You asked me for my help.
Yeah. And so now I'm seeing you big and round and going, whoa, 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 what the hell happened? There was an appointment, the money was there, everything was going on. And I'm like, you're broke. Your shit's not secure. You are in like literally no position to have another child.
And you knew it.
And you know it.
Looking for.
So I don't know how to like protect myself from the reaction that I feel because it literally makes me sick.
Yeah, I guess like for me, I don't know. Maybe I would, and it's hard for me to say because I wasn't.
What, like you would care as much as I do? You want me to care less? You're like, Jeanna, why do you care so much?
Well, yeah, I mean, but it's easy for me to say because I'm not in that situation either. Yeah. But you know, how many people have you helped? I guess that's what I would say is that you know, there's always going to be people who take advantage, no matter who you are, and the better you can shield yourself from the damage that does to you because. You know, it hurts your soul because you're trying to help people and they're taking advantage. The less that you can let that impact you, the better off you are.
So really, I just have to accept some stuff. I feel like
that there's gonna be
women specifically. Because I keep saying people, but we are talking about women,
right?
That are like, I see it, and statistically speaking, making their life more difficult.
Right. Oh.
And it kills me. It just like absolutely hurts my soul.
It is their life. And they are the one that has to live it.
That's true. It still bothers me, girl.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think that's where it is that honestly I need to maybe, I don't even know. Because there's always a story. So there's always the woman feels like she has to tell me all the things of like why she wants to abort, where I'm the person, I don't even care. You're in what state? You need these resources. Let's do it.
Right. Like maybe you should be suggesting that they discuss that stuff with their
therapists. Because it's too much for me. It dumps on me huge.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yes. Boundaries.
Yep.
Boundaries are healthy.
Yes.
It took me so long to learn it.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about boundaries on the show every once in a while.
For sure.
All right. So let's end it with some good talk. Ooh, some fun stuff. Sorry.
2 weeks from today.
Is it 2 weeks from today?
Today, yeah.
What time are we leaving?
I can go as early as, you know, after I drop my kids off for school.
Really? Oh, I thought we were waiting until the night. Ooh, we got to be there Thursday night, right?
Yeah, but like the sooner we get there, the more we can enjoy Taos because we're going to leave in the morning and go to the Mineral Springs. So if we get there earlier on Thursday, we can actually enjoy
So just drop the kids off and jam out.
If we can.
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
I'm down for it.
So we're jamming out to New Mexico and we're going to go to Taos.
Yeah.
And then we're going to Santa Fe.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to see...
Well, first we're going to drive to Taos.
The reason I'm letting her say it is because I've never been there. And you have.
Yeah, this is my third year in a row, actually.
For Mother's Day.
Yeah, in May I've gone. This is the third May.
But do you do it to celebrate Mother's Day? Like, is it your like pamper yourself thing?
It's ended up kind of turning into that. That was my excuse the first year and the second year and the third year. So
it has become a thing.
Yes.
All right, I'm with it.
It's fun, you know. New Mexico it's just such a peaceful place. Like it really reminds me of what Colorado was before it really started to grow. And I take you can either take I-25, which goes north-south all the way down through Colorado into New Mexico, and you can get there. But I like to take 285, which is the like older
scenic route.
It's through the mountains, and you go, you know, you hit like little mountain towns, and it's much more scenic, and it takes a half an hour longer, so it's so worth it to spend that extra half an hour getting to enjoy that part of Colorado. And so yeah, we should definitely do that. And yeah, so we'll just drive to Taos and then probably have a really yummy dinner because their food there is fantastic.
So excited.
And we have a really cute little casita Airbnb.
And it has a hot tub?
Yes, it does. And then the next day we have we are going to this place called Ojo Caliente, which is a mineral springs, and we have spa treatments. So yeah, we're gonna go soak in the springs
That's why I
and
said
enjoy
it
the
is
spa.
totally like our getaway, treat yourself.
Yeah.
Me time. We talk a lot about me time, how it's important. I say we talk a lot about it's because we have been talking a lot about that.
I actually just saw a headline today as I was scrolling. I don't remember who posted it. It might have been Laura.
Okay.
She posted something, I think it was her. It was saying, if you want to be healthier, take girls trips.
Heck yes. I am so with it.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I love it. Okay.
So we're going to do a road trip, and then we'll do the spa, and then we'll go to Santa Fe, and we have the entire next day in Santa Fe, which I want to go see the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum, if we can. And we're going to go to an 80s party at Meow Wolf, which is a really cool museum. It's like a super interactive experience. And
to be honest, I wish we could get shrooms.
Should I
not say that on camera?
I might have to cut this.
So yeah, I have never been to New Mexico, and I have always wanted to. I love the idea of the art district, kind of cultural stuff and learning. I'm all about that. So thank you. It was your idea to go, and I'm like, ooh.
I just love it. I love it for that. I love the art. I love the style. I love how different it's so unique. And
you told me Santa Fe has what is it called?
They have like building codes where you can only build adobe structures, and they have really strict things on light pollution there too, where they're street lights. So at night you can see the stars even in the city. But I mean, as far as capitals go, Santa Fe is like, it's got 300,000 people, so it's very small for a capital city of a state. And I just love it. I think it's so cool. I'm excited to show it to you. I mean, for me, what I love when I travel is like culture and art and uniqueness and good food, and it checks all those boxes for me. So.
And we get to go a little dancing.
Yeah. I know we're going to an 80s party. Are you going to, we gotta.
I mean, I want to do a costume.
We should. I need to start working on that.
When I do 80s, I think of like a Virgin Madonna. So I don't know. What's your idea? What do you think?
I don't know. I'm going to have to Google and go on Amazon or something. It's 80s prom. 80s prom is the theme.
Really? So
but you don't have to be
like
prom.
A virgin could do. We could do it with a big old lace bow. It would look good in your hair. You don't even have to tease it.
Oh my God. I could go.
have to like crimp my hair and we're
gonna bring cameras and we're gonna do our setup and get some video while we're down there, so that way everybody can kind of come along with us
and see us on our flip side.
Yeah,
we're
real life.
Hair down.
Yeah,
my hair's already down, but whatever.
Letting loose, getting out,
letting loose.
Getting out of town for a couple days.
Yeah,
so
I'm excited about it.
So yeah, definitely come back and join us again. We'll be having a lot more interesting topics. We have more things to talk about for sure.
And if you have any topics for us that you want us to talk about, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Or if you have anything to say about what we talked about, like let us know.
Yeah, we're gonna go back and have a section of where we just talk about YouTube comments or stuff like that. So yeah,
we want to engage with our audience, so talk to us.
Yep, okay? Give us feedback.